everyone, in my previous video I talked about the Southern Colonies. In this video, we will talk about the New England Colonies, while in the next video we will cover the Middle Colonies. Some English individuals separated from the Church of England due to their disagreements with its practices and teachings. They believed in the need for a more purified form of worship and sought to establish independent congregations outside the control of the Church of England. They were called the English Separatists, and together the group was called the Pilgrims. In 1620, the Pilgrims sailed on the Mayflower and discovered Plymouth, which is now part of Massachusetts. Before disembarking the Mayflower ship, the Pilgrims signed a document called the Mayflower Compact. The compact outlined the principles of self-government and importance of majority rule. It helped establish order and cooperation among the settlers in their new colony. The Pilgrims initially faced challenges such as harsh weather, diseases, and a lack of food. The Native Americans, particularly the Wampanoag tribe, helped the Pilgrims by teaching them how to cultivate crops, hunt, and fish. They also provided essential supplies and acted as intermediaries between the Pilgrims and other tribes. The assistance of Native Americans was crucial in helping the Pilgrims survive and establish their colony. Another group, known as the Puritans, composed of 16,000 English Protestants who sought to reform the Church of England, established the Massachusetts Bay Colony in 1630. Led by John Winthrop, their main motivation was religious freedom and the aspiration to build a society based on their religious beliefs. This movement of English Puritans to the Massachusetts Bay Colony is referred to as the Great Migration. The concept of a city on a hill was mentioned by John Winthrop, a leader of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. He used this phrase to describe the Puritan settlement, particularly Boston, as an example to the world, a shining model of a righteous and prosperous community to serve as an inspiration for others to follow. Now, how did the New England colonies differ from the Southern colonies? In terms of migration, the New England colonies saw more family-based migration, with entire families relocating together. In contrast, the Southern colonies had more individual migration, with single men seeking economic opportunities. New England colonies were generally considered healthier places to live due to cooler climates and cleaner water sources. This led to lower death rates compared to the Southern colonies, which were more prone to diseases. Subsistence farming was more common in New England, where small-scale agriculture provided for the needs of individual families. In Southern colonies, cash crops like tobacco and rice were the main focus, leading to larger plantations and a reliance on enslaved labor. Education was highly valued in New England, and the colonists established more schools and universities, such as Harvard, to educate the population. In the Southern colonies, education was less widespread, and there were fewer formal educational institutions. In New England colonies, the social hierarchy was typically based on wealth and religious standing. The religious leaders who ran town meetings and the rich held the highest positions. There was a large population of small-scale farmers and then a small population of landless laborers, servants, and the poor. In Massachusetts, the government centered on the church through town meetings. Each Massachusetts town was independently governed by local church members. All adult male church members were allowed to vote for laws and taxes. In 1635, Roger Williams was banished from Massachusetts Bay Colony for rebelling against the Puritan leaders and advocating for religious freedom and the separation of church and state. He then established Rhode Island on principles of religious freedom and separation of church and state. Rhode Island became a safe haven for radical Puritans and those seeking religious freedom. Jews, along with other religious minorities such as Quakers and Baptists, settled in Rhode Island. The state's coastal location made fishing a significant part of the economy. Shipbuilding thrived due to abundant timber resources and access to the Atlantic Ocean. Trade played a crucial role, with merchants engaging in commerce with other colonies and Europe. Additionally, small-scale farmers cultivate crops like corn, wheat, and vegetables. This combination of industries helped Rhode Island prosper and grow. In 1638, Anne Hutchinson was banished from the Massachusetts Bay Colony for challenging the religious authority of the Puritan leaders. She then came to Rhode Island to seek refuge. In 1636, Connecticut was founded by English Puritans seeking religious freedom. It was founded by Thomas Hooker, who led a group of settlers from Massachusetts Bay Colony. In 1639, the Fundamental Orders of Connecticut, a governing document, was written by the colonists in Connecticut. It was the first written constitution in colonial America. The document established a framework for self-government, ensuring the rights and liberties of the colonists. It laid the foundation for democratic principles and influenced the development of representative government in the American colonies. In the 1630s, conflicts between the Pequot tribe and English settlers led to the 1637 Pequot War. It occurred in Connecticut and was sparked by tensions over land and trade, specifically over control of fur. The war resulted in the near destruction of the Pequot tribe and solidified English control in the region. In the 17th and 18th centuries, there was a decline in the number of people actively participating in churches. This decline was influenced by various factors, including religious beliefs, the rise of Enlightenment ideas, and the increasing emphasis on individualism and personal freedom. To the decreasing number of full church members, the halfway covenant was introduced. It allowed partial church membership for individuals who had not experienced a full conversion. This meant that they could have their children baptized and participate in some church activities, but they couldn't fully partake in communism or hold certain leadership positions. Although it allowed for greater inclusivity and participation, it also diluted the strict requirements for church membership and weakened the spiritual commitment the colony was established on. In the 1730s, the Great Awakening started in response to the decline in religious piety and growing secularization in the American colonies. It was fueled by passionate preachers like George Whitefield and Jonathan Edwards, who delivered powerful sermons that emphasized the need for personal salvation and a direct relationship with God. It contributed to the growth of new religious denominations such as Baptists and Methodists. And that's a wrap! These were all the important details of the New England colonies of the US. To learn about the southern and middle colonies, head over to my other videos. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating knowledge. Thank you for watching Studimation, animated educational videos.